Ole, ole. You are listening to the Postcast, presented by the Locked On Senators podcast and the Glebe Central Pub. The Glebe Central Pub is your neighborhood pub in the heart of the Glebe. Visit them for great people, great food, and tasty drinks. They're located at 779 Bank Street. Make sure you let them know that Locked On Senators sent you. I'm Ross Levitan alongside Brandon Pillar, and we have the entire Postcast crew here. The same crew that you'll be able to find at the Glebe Central Pub on February 17th. We are on for the last time in the Postcast in 11 days, and the Senators send the home crowd home sad and a few Sens fans happy. Pilsy, your immediate reaction following what was a 5-4 regulation win over the Montreal Canadiens.
The Ottawa Senators are on a 4-game win streak. Brady Tkachuk scores the game winner. Positive Pilsy is here to stay, guys. I mean, yes, the Sens made it more interesting than it should have been. This should have been a much easier game, especially when the Habs are wearing those god-awful jerseys. They should have put them away earlier. But they don't ask how. It's just how many points did you get in this? 2 points. 2 much-needed points up against the Habs. And have fun going into the break, Habs fans, losing back-to-back games to your Ottawa Senators.
Martian, before I get your immediate thoughts on this one, I have to say the third period, back and forth as it gets. Twice the Habs tied it up, but Brady Tkachuk plays hero. Martian, there was no doubt that he was going to come up big when they needed him.
It's a freezing cold night here in Ottawa, but the Ottawa Senators are smoking hot, boys. And of course, it's Brady Tkachuk, the absolute killer of the Habs, finishing the job. I was ready to tweet out Bucci overtime challenge, Brady Tkachuk. And I didn't have to get to that point, boys. He finishes the job in regulation. That's what we like to see.
And with a target on his back from earlier in the game. We'll get into all that, but can we say this was the game of 20s? I mean, goal number 22 for Tim Stützle, his second of the night. That ties his season total from last year. And goals number 20 for both Brady Tkachuk and Claude Giroux. Pilsy, one of your Francophone bets hit, and that was sick to see.
Yes, one of the Francophone bets hit. I wish we could have had all 4, but hey, they get the win ultimately. I'm a happy guy. Like, that was so damn close, but Brady Tkachuk gets it done. And that celly at the end where him and Timmy are giving it to the fans, you love to see that. You love to see that.
That's just pure gold, especially after all the drama of Timmy dealing with Habs fans and online or wherever. I mean, even if you go and look at his, Instagram comments at that time, like Habs fans were basically harassing him like a bunch of losers with nothing better to do. And for him to really shot for them, that was just glorious, man. And he's going to keep doing that. They better get used to it.
Just another great night at the office. My favorite stat that I tweeted out at Sen Central was that tonight, Tim Stützle, 2 goals and an assist. Sorry, my apologies. He added a 4th. He had already got
it's a 4-point night.
He already had more points in the Bell Center than Brendan Gallagher has in 12 games this year. But then he had to double him with that assist on the 4th goal. Now, on the game-winning goal, the 5th one. Now, can I just give a little stick tap to Nikita Zaitsev for starting that play in his defensive end?
Absolutely.
He looked off Thomas Chabot on the D-to-D, pivots, goes up the wall, Timmy gets speed, and away they go 2-on-1, and Brady finishes off on the far side. That was just as smooth of a transition play as I think you can get. Zaitsev had a pretty decent game, actually, overall, with the cannon that went off the glove, the tip of the finger of Claude Giroux to open the scoring. Pilsy, this was just a great team effort, despite, and we'll get into it, like that third period, pretty sloppy overall for Ottawa.
Yeah, definitely not the way you want the game to wind down there, but ultimately they get it done. But I thought Zaitsev had a great game too, Ross. He had the green light offensively, and he was going for it. You love to see that from a guy with no goals on the season. But this is a game where the Ottawa Senators, they rely on their power play, but sometimes that's what you got to do. You have to lean on your strengths, and ultimately it's a couple power play goals that really help this team out.
Certainly. The Sens got 6 shots in the third period, but when 2 of them go in, it makes it a little bit easier to swallow. Let's go to the biggest storyline in this game. Martian, you look a little pixelated. I hope you can hear me well. You look fine, but
I think that's my internet, boys. It's a little.
Oh, you're hitting a little snag. No way. We're not getting into the bar Wi-Fi situation with Jack. I think Martian will be all right. No, you'll be fine, Martian, because before we get to our Sen Central standouts and kind of working our way through the game summary, Martian, Pillsy, we got to hit on this Brady Tkachuk, Xhekaj sideshow. Is it even worth our time?
I mean, it's certainly not worth Brady's time, and he knows that. And look, Brady's not one to back down from a challenge, but he's not stupid. He's not just going to put himself in danger's way just to give the Habs a chance to get momentum back. It makes so much more sense. You don't want your game-winning goal scorer, Brady Tkachuk, in the box for 5 minutes, and the trade-off is somewhat
depth
defenseman guy. I don't even know his name.
He's a joke. He's a bit of a goon out there, Pills.
Yeah, he's just a goon. It's not worth Brady Tkachuk's time, so he doesn't bother with that.
I like the Brady Tkachuk when Kovacevic came over, waivers this year. He's just like, go away.
Yeah, shoe fly. Like, get out of here.
Not only is that a terrible, that's just the worst trade-off the Sens could ever have. Like, Brady's got to be smarter than to go with him. Not to mention, that's not the guy you want to go with, Brady. Like,
no, exactly. That's the thing. Brady's not stupid.
That's the guy you want on the ice. And sure enough, he's he's got the best seat in the Bell Center for the game-winning goal. He's literally at the top of the crease, staring into his own net.
And he scored a goal for the Sens last game.
And he was -4 last game as well. So let's keep him out there as long as possible. He can run around and be a joker and smile his way through his little whatever he wants, the shenanigans in the corners, all he wants. But for me, it's like Xhekaj versus Brady Tkachuk is something that we should never see because they're not even in the same realm of player.
Oh, not even close, man. And hopefully next time we'll see Tyler Kleven on the other side of this rivalry, and we'll go meat for meat if you want to get into that type of thing. But I love the way they attacked him when he had the puck, as they should, force him into turnovers. Just not a great defensive hockey player right now, and they punished him. Brady Tkachuk gets his lick in, and with 5 seconds left in the period, the Habs score to make it a 1-goal game going into the third. I would be sitting here swearing at Brady Tkachuk if he took himself off the ice for 5 minutes when that happened. So all in all, Brady standing right in front of the net on the initial go-ahead goal in the third period. Then he puts the final nail in the coffin in the final minute and a half of the game. So this was just played wonderfully. Habs fans can go on their end. Nobody, by the way, has more fans that tweet out GIFs than the Habs do, who focus so much on the officiating and that they're hard done by than the Montreal Canadiens. And then they turn around to like, oh, you're going to celebrate in this situation? Yeah, you would have done the exact same thing, homie. So it's hilarious how they can switch. They can switch two-faced like a Habs fan.
Big time.
Well, one of the referees out there tonight was from Quebec, so that tells you a lot. And he didn't make a single call for the Sens tonight, as far as I could tell. So that's what we're looking at there. I got to check the scouting, the refs on that. Give me a minute, but I'm pretty sure he didn't make any calls for the Sens' favor, and he's probably got one of those records where it's favoring the opposition or the Habs when he's out there.
So the Senators and Habs each scored twice on the power play. Ottawa only went to the man advantage 3 times. The Habs had 5 power plays in this game. Shots on goal favored Montreal, 32-29. They actually had the better of Ottawa in the faceoff dot, 59-41%. And then you look at the shot breakdown, and that's where it looks a little concerning. Ottawa was outshot 13-6 in the third period. Not necessarily what you want to see, but the battle of this team certainly showed it up when they needed it most. But this game started with a bang, bang. Claude Giroux gets that goal we mentioned, deflected off a Zaitsev shot. Shabbat with the other assist on that opening goal. Sens have scored first in 5 straight games. That's a nice little stat. And then Tim Stützle, not even a minute later, what a feed from Mathieu Joseph to send him in behind the defenseman. Pilsy, how'd you see that play develop?
I love that play because, Ross, I'm going to even replay Pilsy over here from back in her days in Belleville. I'm going to scroll that back even farther on that play because Brady makes a great bank pass off the boards right to Joseph, and that's what starts it. And what I like that Joseph does here, and I've seen a lot of Sens players do this more often, is they'll pivot and turn their back towards the opposition to kind of take that guy out of the play. And then that allows time for the trailing players to catch up a little. And that's what Joseph does on that play. He stops up, then he feeds Timmy in front. It goes off of Harris's skate. Timmy gets it, and he goes top shelf. Like, that's a great goal by Tim Stützle right there.
21st of the year, Joseph's eighth assist. Brady Tkachuk gets his 31st assist. And then Kirby Dach, just kind of a bang-bang play side of the net. Rebound. Hoffman, they kept teeing him up. And then they try the other side. Suzuki goes down low. Doc makes a nice play at the goal mouth. 2-1 game after the first period. Stayed that way until 4.5 minutes left in the second period. Power play for Ottawa. What a feed this time from Tim Stützle. Thomas Chabot gets a secondary assist, but Pilsy, talk about threading the needle. Or Martian, I'll tee you up with this one. The way that Stützle teed up the cat, and I don't care whether you're Jake Allen with an .828 save percentage tonight or you're Dominic Hasek at his prime, nobody's stopping that shot.
No, that was an absolute bullet. And that pass, you said it, Ross, one touch pass straight through that seam. Defenders didn't have a chance on the pass, and Jake Allen had absolutely no chance on that shot because that was just about bar down, right top shelf. And say what you will about DeBrincat's finishing ability, it looked pretty good on that one. So no complaints over here. Looking good.
After that goal gave Ottawa another lead. It was short-lived. As I mentioned, Mike Hoffman in 5 seconds remaining. Classic Mike Hoffman goal, right? You just have to tip your hat. That's his one ability that's plus. Some other things about his game that you probably don't like, but hey, when he converts on shots, I was actually surprised it was only his 9th goal of the year. Really was kind of what surprised me and all of that. Start of the third period, I thought Ottawa was on its heels after that kerfuffle where Brady Tkachuk should have just looked at Xhekaj and given him one of these.
I don't even know what he's thinking. He's just a complete brickhead. He's got nothing up there. Bad guy, bad player, but what a joke he is.
What a joke he is indeed. Start of the third period, I felt like they were a little bit preoccupied with that. Brady was chirping the bench a couple times. They were kind of forgetting that this still game had a few minutes left in it that needed to be taken care of. Raphael Harvey-Pinard, buzzsaw type player from Laval. He gets a little, I don't even want to call it a cheeky goal, but a nice play from Nick Suzuki. Got to give credit on the pass there. And he finishes that play off. Pilsy, once they tied it the first time at 3, at that point, are you like, Sens have been on their heels, or did you maintain your confidence that they were going to come out with the win?
I was still pretty confident because there was quite a bit of hockey left, but I was a little bit nervous just because that was a flat start to that third period for the Sens. But Ross, I'm not kidding. I was so confident the Sens were going to win this game. Those jerseys are just so damn bad for the Habs, and they haven't won a single game with them. I responsibly emptied my account on the Sens live betting on this one. Responsibly cashed it all out. I hesitated for a second, and I was like, no, you got to go with it. These jerseys suck. Boom. All in, and it paid off. But yes, when the Habs tied it up so quickly, back-to-back times in that third period, I did get a little bit nervous there, not going to lie.
Then the second time they tied up then Ottawa takes the lead, 4-3, another power play goal. Martian, walk me through what you saw in Tim Stützle's 22nd of the year.
Ooh. Well, Timmy just decided to take over the game yet again here. And as soon as that puck got on his stick kind of in that high slot area and he walks it in like that, and Brady Tkachuk's standing in front of the net like a tree, just a great wise oak standing there. Jake Allen can't see a thing, and that's a perfectly placed shot. Not necessarily the hardest shot, but just perfectly placed right between the defender and Brady, and it goes right by Jake Allen.
Another one past Jake Allen in that game. Pilsy, the last time the Sens lost to the Habs, you were in attendance, and they've played 5 times now since, and it's been beatdowns. This was actually a closer game than we've seen. So people saying perfect tank game, man, we've been in the deep tank, and all I have to say about it is you still want to beat your rivals.
Yes. That's what we talked about. That was our new adjusted expectations roster. When the rivals are in town, especially in Montreal and Ottawa, you gotta beat them. You gotta win these games. And when you can string along a 4-game win streak going into this stretch, that's gotta feel so good for the guys. Get some time off, go on a nice, sunny, warm vacation, come back hungry. Because when you can stretch along win streaks like this, I'm reloading the NHL wildcard standings a little bit more often than I was before this win streak started. Let's just say that.
Dare I say about the upcoming 11 days off for Ottawa? Dare I say this?
Rest is a weapon.
Maybe.
Rest is
Maybe. Although the way they're going right now, you almost want to keep this momentum rolling. Like this is the kind of streak that they can ride. So hopefully rest is a weapon. I think it is, but
Rest is a weapon. If I hear that one more time, I'll go crazy.
Maybe I'm a little
Martian,
bit,
I
went
agree
full
with you.
Pierre on that.
Yeah, I agree with you. You wish they could get some more games in while they're hot, but hey, if you ask me, would you rather go into a break on a 4-game win streak or a 4-game lose streak? I'll take the win streak.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
100%. Yeah, it's going to feel good for these guys to be able to take this break and then now go and do whatever they're doing on their break and enjoying their time and just being able to reset and ride that high of the win streak. The team vibes have got to be good. I'm sure a few of them are going on vacation out there together. So I hope they have a great time. They've earned it.
Well, Pilsy and I guess are built different because we're going to bring the podcast with us on our mid-season vacation later on this month. We're just built different.
Just start covering Belleville for a few weeks, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's going to be great. And thanks to Dave Thornhill. We appreciate you. Anyone who wants to throw a couple of coins in the guitar case, as we call it, just leaving it wide open, you're welcome to do so, but absolutely by no means is there any pressure to. But there was pressure on the Ottawa Senators after this game was tied up at 4. You could hear the Bell Center getting into the game. Another reason why it's like, okay, don't give me this. It's actually better to lose garbage because the man who you had the opportunity to draft 3rd overall in 2018 continues to own the franchise. If I had to throw this at you, Pilsy, trivia time, your favorite, how many game-winning goals does Brady Tkachuk have against the Montreal Canadiens?
5.
Martian, your guess?
I'll say 6.
The correct answer, I want to give some time for everyone in the chat.
It's 4.
I know that he's had even his rookie season, he scored an overtime game winner. So there's one. Recent memory, there's at least a few. So I'm thinking around 6.
So Brady Tkachuk has 18 now, 18 career game-winning goals. 5 of them have come against the Montreal Canadiens.
I've been crushing the trivia lately, eh? Damn.
You're on a heater.
5. Maybe
Let's go.
That's really good.
Head at the Glebe Central Pub. Maybe we will go head-to-head at the Glebe Central Pub trivia on February.
Oh, God. Please don't do that to me live in person.
Oh, boys, we got to get after it. It's going to be an absolute time at the Glebe Central Pub. The Glebe Central Pub is in the heart of the Glebe. Great people, great drinks. We love our friends at the Glebe Central Pub. They're sponsoring the Postcast all year long. Not only the Postcast, Pilsy, but the Glebe Central Pub is your home for all pregame and postgame festivities on February 17th. 779 Bank Street. The shuttle tickets are now on sale. You can find that on our link tree. So find our link tree or go straight to GlebeCentralPub.com. Sends bus. It includes a ticket to the live show before we leave. The bus is leaving at 5:40, but our live show starts at 4 o'clock on February 17th ahead of Chris Neal Jersey Retirement Day. Doodling Daryl is making an elite poster. Oh, we're going to do the sneak peek? Brought to you by our friends.
Are we doing the sneak peek?
I'm begging.
I don't know if these people are ready for it, but
Oh,
you know
I don't
what?
know.
It's so good.
No. We got 365 people here, easily our biggest postcast ever. We don't have a postcast for a while. I think the people deserve it, Ross.
They deserve
the people earned it. Doodling Daryl is an absolute legend.
I don't know. How about if we get to 380? If we at any point get to 380, so go on to your significant other's computer, log in on multiple devices, and if we get to 380 in the chat, we
Only
will
15 away.
Peek to maybe the coolest poster I've ever seen.
I'll make this happen right now. I'm sending out an
Glebe Central Pub. Glebe Central Pub. We love our friends at the Glebe Central Pub. Go check them out, 779 Bank Street, and make sure they know that Locked On Senators sent you. All right, fellas. The Ottawa Senators have won 4 straight games going in to the All-Star break. The All-Star break, because I made a little boo-boo the other day on the pod. Although, guys, did you see that they had a Christmas season commercial during the broadcast? I can't even remember what it was. Like milk. It was milk. It was leaving milk.
You thought you were losing your mind? Yeah.
People have to know that, because I immediately thought, I was like, were they listening to the pod? That's hilarious. So the Sens win 5-4 in regulation. My goodness, numbers are hard. Math guy over here. We do need a not a doctor for Pillsy t-shirt.
I wish we could do that and have the Simpsons Dr. Nick guy as like the meme of him there.
With your face on it. We can do the cartoon Pillsy
nice.
face.
Martian.
I mean, that's in my repertoire. I can pull that off.
All right, cool. Love it.
I'll do it. I'll design it.
Yes. We are getting dangerously close to 380, Ross. I hope you have that poster pulled up. You guys are gonna love
this. I just tweeted again. If a few more people share it, I'm sure people will join. I think we can make this happen.
Fellas, can I get some help as well? Who has the goggles right now?
The Forsey? Or Giroux?
Give them to. Was Claude? No, because it was after the Montreal game. I think Claude had them on Friday.
We are so bad at remembering the goggles.
I know. Shabby has them? Oh.
Yeah. Bob Jones gave them to
Forsey.
Yeah, I think it's Forsey.
Bob Jones was like 3 wins ago. Martian, keep up. They can't lose.
No, I know. Somebody said Shabby. I said, yeah, I agreed. It was Forsey. I said Forsey right at the top. Yeah.
Everyone knows that Forsey has them. Anton Forsberg, who gets them tonight? It's basically Brady Tkachuk or Tim Stützle, right?
Yes, I would throw Thomas Chabot in there as well.
3 assists, but he just had them, and also, I mean, a 4.9. Timmy has he had them this season? I think maybe once. So I think he's due.
Ridley Gregg hasn't got them yet either. Oh, we're at 400, Ross. The people have earned it. 400. Let's go.
Let's share this thing. Let's see.
Woo!
All right, I will pull it up right now. It's gonna be straight. Actually, I'll do it from here. This is one of the coolest things. I'm so excited. Doodling Daryl, by the way, he's not on Twitter anymore, but you guys have to go check out Doodling Daryl on Instagram. Buy his stuff. It's actually super cool. All right, let's see here. Yeah, and let's get 400 likes in here. Why not? Let's get the thumbs up rolling. All right, I need immediate reaction from everybody here. How are we feeling about the first draft? There could be a change or two, but Doodling Daryl, if you're here in the chat, sorry, I'm not asking permission. I'm just showing it up. There we go. The Glebe Central Pub present Locked On Senators Live.
Look at the boys. We look incredible.
Boots on the bus. 4:45 live show. 5:40 shuttle to the CTC post game at the Glebe Central Pub. Look at that. Look at the garlic sauce dripping off my shawarma palace. Like that's about as sick as obviously, we got the Chris Neal 25 banner. One of my favorite is obviously we got the 2 buses, right?
Yep.
On the left, there's a little thing that says, I don't break for Leafs. That's money. Yeah. Doodling Daryl has done it again. Folks.
So good.
Because this guy is all about, like, look, the buses are all coming. It's a fleet of buses heading to the CTC. That is awesome.
Boots on the bus.
Boots on the bus. Positive Pillsy in the mix. They did me dirty with the blue eyes.
You know what? He really nailed the jersey game, too. I feel like those are the jerseys we'll be wearing that night.
Yeah, he did nail it.
He knows. Daryl does not miss.
Boots on the ground from at Lalim's Martian. He's drinking his beer out of a boot. Like, this guy is so detailed. So elite what he does. We absolutely love Doodling Daryl. So, pretty sick. Absolutely love it. So appreciate everyone for a little sneak peek. And it's going to be awesome. Glebe Central Pub's going to print those straight out. So we're fired up. We're going to get the last couple things in there, and it should be out in the next couple days. Now, we do have some notes to get to as well, but first or after should we do our Sen Central standouts? Because
let's do the standouts now, then end off with the notes.
Okay, sounds good. Sen Central standout number 1, Pillsy. I will go to you. And as I snap it over to you, give me 2 more names because I've got Brady, I've got Timmy. We said Thomas Chabot. Who else did we say?
Ridley. Just because he hasn't had them yet, he's the young guy.
Yeah, true. That's a smart choice, Martian. Yes.
And because he got sent down. No spoilers to our news. Him, Mark Kastelic as well, and Matt Sogard. So I guess they'll get some games in. For Casty, it's probably like, because he's coming back from injury, it's almost like a free conditioning stint. And Belleville does have a week off after this weekend, so it's not like he's going down to play 3 and 4 or anything like that. So it's great to see. Pilsy, your number one standout from this game.
I mean, you're passing it to me. I'm taking the low-hanging fruit here. Actually, there's 2 options that could be really good. So I guess it's not that low-hanging. I'm going with Brady Tkachuk, though. I mean, captain shit right here. It doesn't get personified what Ottawa Senators fans want their leader to be more than Brady Tkachuk. Not only does he score the game-winning goal, he hits the over shots. We all love that, Martian. I know you love that as well.
I really love that, especially on a game-winning goal.
Yeah, especially. It was a triple whammy for me. Brady shots over, regulation win, and money line. So that's my guy right there at FanDuel.
You should just use the what you want and buy a Brady Tkachuk jersey. Like he deserves that, Bills.
Yep, I really should get on that. I don't have a Brady jersey.
That is gotta be your next one. And Pilsy, for the second time in the last 2 weeks, Brady's 4th shot on goal to hit the over at FanDuel is a game-winning goal.
Yep, legendary, absolutely legendary. And not only that, Ross,
shit.
but he has the wherewithal to not get tricked by these little Habs guys buzzing around him, trying to get him in the penalty box for 5 minutes. He just gets the fly swatter out, get out of here, and moves on. That's smart, because at the end of a period, things can get heated. Xhekaj even got a couple tosses in, a couple side long hooks in. So that could have pissed Brady off. He says, nope, I'm better than this. I don't need to be meddling with these Habs players. So that is captain shit right there. Brady Tkachuk is my first Sen Central standout. I love that guy.
And after a goal and an assist in tonight's game, Brady Tkachuk is up to 20 points in 24 career games against the Montreal Canadiens, 45 penalty minutes, averaging just under 18 minutes per game. Absolutely fantastic the way you all broke that down, Pilsy.
I love that.
I was deciding what word to use at the end there, and I was going to go with dude, player, and then I was like, nope, guy. I love that guy.
I love the guy. Martian, what do you have for your first Sen Central standout?
Ross, I really just want to do you the courtesy here. I'm gonna let you take it. I got to. I know I don't have to. I just feel like being polite, just because I feel like my guy's gonna be there after you're done.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
About you being nice?
About you going next.
Oh, you want me to just go next? I thought you were gonna leave me a guy. No, you can't.
I'm just handing it off to the host here. Our good host, Ross Levitan, Locked On Senators podcast. Please take the next Sen Central standout.
No, because that's awkward. Because what if I go somewhere? What if I step on your toes? Because now I have to. Okay, fine.
He has steel toe boots on. You can't step on his toes.
I ruined the flow of the Senators of standout. I realize that, but
yeah, well, we clip these now as its own standalone video, so you're really wasting people's time here.
Martian tries to do something nice and gets shit on here.
I know.
He comes into my house. I invite him to eat, go up and help himself to the buffet, and instead of doing it, now he's wasting it. Now it's getting cold.
Dude, that is the worst. You're right. I should go.
Wait. I know we want to move on, but I have another analogy. Ross and Liam's Martian are in a driver's ed car. Ross is driving the bus, and then Martian, he's got the wheel on the other side. He's like, no, we're going this way. And they're just steering into each other's wheels.
I call it a Canadian standoff, where two people are going to enter the same entryway, and you just, neither of them wants to let the other go because they both want to be polite. But sorry, Ross. Go ahead.
Please go ahead.
Okay, I'll go.
Should I go?
I'm gonna go. You want to go? Okay, I'm taking it. You ready? And it's not going to be the lower hanging fruit. Sorry. I know we always use that analogy. I'm taking the guy who I promised I would always take as my standout when he scores a goal for the Ottawa Senators. Alex DeBrincat.
Nice.
Boys, when he scores goals, this team wins games. They're 12-1-1 when he scores when he scores a goal. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, update the stat.
That's a fantastic stat to have as a goal scorer who came in as a big pickup in the offseason. He's done nothing. When he scores goals, this team goes well. And for me, tonight he did his job. He scored that ever coveted goal, and it was again 2 games in a row now where it's been a goal scorer beat the goalie clean,
Martian.
sniper's goal. He's shooting that puck with authority. I know there's been jokes made about him during the Send Skills competition. He did the hardest shot. I think he came out with an 83 on his first attempt, which is,
Stützle should have won that one. Come on.
Yeah, maybe not the hardest shot ever you expect from a guy who's a coveted 40 goal scorer. But for me, when he can put the puck in like that, I love to see that. So for me, DeBrincat's my standout tonight, boys. And I hope he's okay. He did take a bit of a spill there at the end of the third period, and he looked like he was a little dinged up. I can't remember if he ended up coming back out after the fact, but I'm going to have to give it to him because I promised you guys I would. And as I've said in the past, when he scores goals, the Ottawa Senators will have a way better chance of winning games, and that's statistically proven now with a larger sample size at this point.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, I got to go with Tim Stützle to lead it off. I mean, how can I not? 4 points for Timmy Superstar tonight. The guy is just getting better and better. He's getting booed at the Bell Center. An honor saved for, anybody, because Habs fans just don't even know how to act when in large crowds or in the public. But Tim Stützle now has 49 points in 46 games, over a point per game, ties his season total in goals from last year in 30 less games. Incredible accomplishment for him. He was also minus 27 last year. After tonight, what's he at? Because he was -9 and then he was +1. So -8, certainly an improvement. But I just thought off the puck, he was awesome today. He gallops through the neutral zone. I thought all in all, fantastic performance from Tim Stützle. Not his best night in the dot, a nice 0%, although he didn't take too many. Gonna pull it up right here, although I'm sure Pillsy was all over it. 0 for 6 in the dot tonight. Tim Stützle. Not ideal, but overall, he made some highlight reel plays. He scores some clutch goal, and then he feeds the captain for the game winner at the end. Tim Stützle is my first Send Central standout. Presented by the Pub.
Who had Alex DeBrincat winning more faceoffs than Tim Stützle tonight on the bingo card? Nobody.
Not me.
50% for Alex DeBrincat, which tells me he probably took 2.
Yeah.
I've got it right here. Yeah, 1 for 2. Nice call, Mark.
Thank you.
Can we go snake style?
Yeah, sure.
Claude Giroux.
He had another one loaded. I knew it.
Nice.
Dude, I love Claude Giroux. I love that guy.
I love the guy.
I love that guy.
I love the guy. Claude Giroux took 14 faceoffs, won 9 of them. Obviously gets a goal in this game as well. He's just such a leader. They panned over to the bench, and multiple times he's standing there with Greg and with DeBrincat too, saying, I want you here, I want you there. Let's keep it rolling. And I thought that his leadership helped keep them calm in the third period as well. I just thought, whenever he's on the ice, I'm just calm. I know that he makes smart plays defensively. He has a high work rate. He creates turnovers. He's just a player that is a joy to have on the team you cheer for. When he was on the ice tonight, Send score a goal, the other team doesn't, right? Just all in all, he does the little things out there. Just an absolute treat. Claude Giroux is my second Send Central standout.
That's beautiful, Ross, and that's your guy. So,
as Sean says, he wins the final faceoff with 14 seconds left. Clean win.
So massive.
Huge. Yeah, that's actually
He's talked about that, how in years past they haven't had that automatic guy. Like Pajot's probably the closest that they've had. And even him, he's like a career 54, 55. Drew's at like 60%, man. He's one of the best of this generation. And he's been out there in every key faceoff. He's the guy, and he never gets kicked out of the circle either. I don't know if that's the respect that he has.
I think that's him and the refs have a good relationship. I think he talks to them all the time. He talks to everybody out there. Let's be honest, but I think that him and except for Ridley Gregg, because of course we know the comments that he made in the media about Greg not talking. But yeah, Claude is just one of those guys that he's just a chatterbox out there. I'm sure the refs love him.
And before we move on from this, talking about that draw, that was so funny. The camera zoomed in on Dorion, and Dorion's pissed that DJ Smith isn't calling a timeout. He's like, "What? Why aren't we calling a timeout here? What?" And then, of course, DJ calls one right after. But I just thought that was a hilarious reaction from Dorion.
Did you boys see this photo? Our guy Christian Tremblay submitted it to Sends Picks That Go Hard. Oh my God, Brady Tkachuk after the game-winning goal.
Oh man, that is definitely Sens pick that goes hard. Wow.
The only problem is that Xhekaj is halfway between the boards and his own net, unfortunately missing the photo as well. So the pucks and defensive assignments aren't the only thing that Xhekaj missed in this game.
No, that photo is so great.
That goes so hard.
Yeah, I love
that is fantastic. I have a hard time describing it without using vulgarities. So
if only Brady's stick wasn't in the way there, then it would be picture perfect.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, boys, that is pure captain shit. What we're looking at right there.
Of course, you're up number 2. Would you like to go? Or you hand it over to Pilsy? You gonna hand it over to Pilsy?
No, I'm not going to be that nice, Pilsy. Sorry, I really want to talk about this guy because I never give him enough shine. And I mean, we're talking about now. This is what is it? Our 4th or 5th Sentinel standout, and we've got a guy sitting here with a 3-point night on his hands. Ooh. And I'm talking about the defenseman Thomas Chabot, our steady Eddie, who's been around for a long time on this team. He's the guy that we always look to be that kind of stalwart on the defensive end. And tonight, he did have his classic few hiccups, a couple bad high sticking penalties, and maybe say what you will, but overall, Thomas Chabot did his job well tonight, really well. And another night where we're talking about him playing under 25 minutes, which I think is that exact sweet spot that he needs to be playing in. He played 23-46 tonight, which is a good amount of minutes for most defensemen, but for him, that's a light night. And that's kind of where we want to see him there in that 24-minute range. And that's 3 assists for Thomas Chabot. At least a few of them were primary, the one for sure. But yeah, I mean, Thomas Chabot, boys, he's pretty great out there offensively. So he's going to be my standout out there. And of course, another Quebecois player who's getting it done against those Habs. And that's just another, nail in the coffin of those Habs that we like to see. Just another little prick in the wounds of the Habs. So I'm going with Thomas Chabot out here tonight.
Love it, Martian. That was going to be my choice. That's a good one. Although, didn't love how he was so easily picked off on. I think it was the first Harvey Pinard goal.
Only positive vibes, Pilsy. Positive Pilsy only.
Okay, yes, that's true.
We don't want to talk about those.
Yes, okay, we don't need to talk about that. Sick into positivity then. I will continue the Francophone train here. As Ross went Claude Giroux, you went Thomas Chabot. I'm going Matthew Joseph here. This is a guy that he was stuck in the doghouse. He was eating kibble. He was whining and scratching at the door at night, wanting to be let in. And he gets a big opportunity. He goes from the doghouse to sitting on a silk velvet fluffy bed inside, getting to play on the top line with Brady Tkachuk and Tim Stützle. And I thought he's been pretty good lately here. I mentioned how I really liked how he uses the position of his body to slow up, let the other attackers come in, and basically force the defender to be stuck on him. He gets 2 assists in this one, and he had a really good shorthanded breakaway chance. That was so close. It was very similar to Matthew Joseph's other goal, where he got a goal on a 3-on-5 penalty kill.
Yeah.
And this was a 4-on-5, so not as crazy, but he had the breakaway opportunity and he made a really good effort there. So I've really been liking Matthew Joseph's game lately here.
Yeah, and that assist on that Timmy goal was sweet, right? Where you could see him, he crossed the blue line, he looked up, he saw Timmy streaking, he stopped up, and nobody expected, he's not necessarily the guy you look at as like that ultra skilled player who's going to make this, fantastic spin rim a pass, but that's exactly what he did. So you got to give him credit there. And I'm not going to do what you were to do to Thomas Chabot and talk about his blow-by in the defensive zone when the Habs scored that 4-4 goal, because to me that was just egregious at that time of the game for him to not bear down defensively. But I won't stomp on your standout, Pilsy.
Nice. Thank you. Merci.
Merci beaucoup.
Okay, dare we take a peek at the standings going into the break?
Do it. Yeah,
Might as
let's
well.
do it.
I mean, I think they leapfrogged a couple teams, so it's going to look a lot better than it has.
Do any teams play tomorrow?
Just Buffalo. And Buffalo's playing Carolina, who've now won 6 straight games after another win tonight. But we can pull up just the wild card standing.
Wait, Carolina won tonight? I thought LA was up 4-1 at one point.
I think they tied. Yeah, they've won 6 straight. So, yeah, they did come back.
Oh, my God. They won 5-4 in OT. Holy crap.
Big game for them. Ironically, I picked up Kotkaniemi in fantasy hockey today.
Nice.
Because they play today and tomorrow, so I wanted to get.
Oh, look at that. They passed Detroit, everyone's favorite team.
Yeah, but points percentage, they're still below them, right? So.
Well, this isn't the AHL playoffs during COVID time, so points percentage does not matter.
Nice. Yeah, fair.
Nice. Very true. So this is how things are going to sit. Obviously, Buffalo's the lone wild card in this situation because they play tomorrow. If they lose that game to Carolina, then you're looking at 57 points as the high water mark for playoff positioning, coming in with 31 games remaining. Wow, that doesn't feel like a whole lot when you really say it out loud. 32, sorry. Games remaining.
Yeah, that All-Star break is closer to the playoffs than you think, I guess.
Especially, we need to talk about some other breaking news, Ross. Cam Talbot out 3 to 4 weeks, according to Darren Dreger.
Oh,
That's going to make things interesting for the Ottawa Senators moving forward here.
Well, that's right around the trade deadline.
It is, exactly.
4 weeks yesterday was the trade deadline, give or take. In terms
the Forsbergler run begins now. A little better than what was the Rydbergler run that you guys had?
No. I know you didn't
time
for the Rydberger or whatever that was.
Hey, Alfie, do you think that the Rydbergler is going to catch on?
Probably not.
No,
definitely not. Yeah.
Probably not.
And as people are pointing out, above 500 going into the break, Ross, that's a good Christmas present for you.
Okay, so here, let's look at it through this lens. Let's zoom out and then refocus. If you had told me going into the All-Star break before the season with our expectations, they would probably be like 2 or 3 points behind what we kind of expected.
Yeah, honestly, I would say that. Maybe, I would say 3 or 4. I'd like to be a little farther ahead, more than one game above 500. But it's with a 4-game win streak here, it's not that far off from where we wanted this team to be. And it sucks that injuries are holding this team down. No Zub, no Talbot, no Norris here. But Martian,
they're in the mix. I mean,
I need you to put up a believe sign behind you. I need that.
You should.
I've done it a few times, right? Where the Sens have, ripped off 2 or 3 wins in a row at important times, and it looks better in the standings all of a sudden, and then we all start hitting that believe sign. The thing that's going to really make me believe is if they come out of this break and they can keep it going. Because if they can't go now and head into the first game out of the break or first few games out of the break and lose, they can't lose those games. They need to win consistently for a while to be able to get back into the hunt and continue to claw. And they're going to run out of time if they don't. So I would say the next 2 or 3 games are some of the more important games of the season.
And Martian, those games are up against some pretty tough teams. You start with Edmonton at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on the 11th, then Calgary at 7:30, and then that's the first part of a back-to-back up against Bo Horvat's New York Islanders.
I'll be BOTG for that Calgary game. I'll be BOTG for that one, so I'll be watching.
Jason Nooney, right, Ross? Or the winner of the Noonan, the winner of the former Palace giveaway.
Yeah. So me and Jason will be out there. We'll be cheering on the Sens hard on that night. But I would love to see them beat Edmonton and then have that home game where they can. I think they're both home games actually, if I'm not wrong. So
they're on a home run. Oh no, they have one road game. So let's get into our time machine and let's go to February 11th. They lose to the Oilers. Just for argument's sake. Sorry.
Regulation?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't love that energy. Speaking of
game.
Positive vibes, jeez.
It's an afternoon game. I don't trust
Ross, pull the schedule up here for our
Okay.
visual learners.
I was gonna pull up my calendar and I realized that was done because I have the send. That's what I was looking at, but I think I should probably not do that. NHL.com. So after that game against Edmonton, they're home to Calgary on the 13th. Then they go back to back on the 14th. They're in New York to play Bo Horvat and the Islanders. And then day off, boots on the ground.
Those are 3 tough games right there.
Yeah, but then you get a softie up against the Blackhawks, and Ross and I are undefeated while live at Ottawa Senators games.
Yeah, I'm not going to look too far ahead. I just think they need to take it one at a time and if they win against Edmonton, I really like their odds against Calgary following that up. They're kind of an inconsistent team too, I think. So for me, it's really just about those first 2 games at home, and then worry about the Islanders later, because who knows what they're going to be up to after acquiring Horvat too, right? Like, I mean, I don't know who they're playing, but they could easily have a little bit of chemistry issues with him coming in. I doubt it because he's so sick, and it's going to help like guys like Parise who are going to move down the lineup and probably, get better opportunities. I don't know though, man. I really, those are tough games. So if they win those, they're really going to be looking nice. Let's just think about that. Let's just think about them winning those games.
I'm with you, Marshall.
You want to give them 4 more wins? You want to double this win streak? You know how hard they had to work to win 4 in a row? You think they're going to win the next 4?
They won 8 in a row last year at one point, if I'm not wrong. Didn't they not?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. That Monday afternoon game in Boston is as easy of a scheduled loss as you're going to get.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Buddy, they've beaten the Bruins twice this year. They're the only team to do it.
Yeah, but back-to-back afternoon games, I don't like that for this Ottawa Senators team, especially with no Cam Talbot.
And travel in between.
So let's discuss. You mentioned that Cam Talbot out the next 3-4 weeks. Well, the Sens have 4. The Sens have 4 sets of back-to-backs to end February.
Yeah. Does Forsberg just do all of those, Ross?
No. Let's draw a line somewhere, dude.
Yeah, okay.
Depends on how good he looks, Pilsy.
I would say maybe that first back-to-back, Calgary, New York.
See, I thought the opposite, Ross. I thought the last back-to-back, like get Forsey starting back-to-back home games up against Detroit.
Okay.
No travel, huge points up against division rivals at home.
That's going to feel COVID-y, eh? With two games, both in Ottawa, both against the same team.
Yeah, true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've actually got tickets to that second half of that back-to-back there. I've got some content planned.
So, Martian. Ooh.
I don't know how much I'll be actually watching the action, but I'll be on the streets. Let's just say that.
Okay. Yeah.
That's huge. Okay, so let's play this game. Handpick your Mad Sogard starts this month if he's the guy who's up backing.
Martian. Give me St. Louis. Give me Montreal. Give me one of those Detroit games. I think that.
You want to give them in Montreal?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yes. Yeah, Martian, I'm with you, except let Forsey have both those Detroit games. Although Sogard's first game was a win up against Detroit, wasn't it?
It certainly was, and it was in Detroit.
Ooh, interesting. But these are at home. No, yeah. I'm saying maybe even give Sogard that game up against Calgary.
This is going to sound wrong. I give him the Boston game because it's already a scheduled loss.
Oh, you're just tossing it as an L.
Trap game. We have that happen to us all the time on the other side of things, right? Where the other team just throws their backup goalie against the Sens, and it just always ends up, us as fans go, oh, yes, backup goalie, and it just doesn't go as we expect. So it could work.
I know that there was a rescheduled game, but this is ridiculous. 4 games in 5 nights to end February.
Yeah, that's probably very close to an NHLPA issue there. It might even be an exception, honestly.
What?
That wasn't rescheduled. That was a rescheduled.
Yeah, it was a rescheduled one. Yeah.
Right. 10 games from the 11th to 28th of February. How many wins in those 10 do they have to secure for you to have any sort of confidence going into the trade deadline if you're Pierre Doria?
Well, I'll start off. The must-win games are the 14th up against the Islanders. That's a must-win. You're trailing that team in the wild card race. The 17th, boots on the ground, massive event for us. And Chris Neal, jersey retirement, and that's a layup team. You have to beat those. the Montreal game, and then both those Detroit games are must win. So what's that? That's 4 must wins in there.
Those are regulation. Those are must win.
Those are all regular. Well, up against the Habs, who cares? That one doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, you have to go above 500 from here on out, Pilsy, for them.
I think you need a 700 record here. But I'm just saying the must wins. Like, those are must win games. All of those.
Those are the ones you would look at and think that they're going to be able to pull off that. And then that Chicago one's probably one of the ones that they'll be able to take down. But
definitely.
I think, again, one game at a time here. Let's not look too far ahead. We've done this several times, and we're always wrong anyways. So they could end up beating Bruins. They could end up beating the Bruins.
We have to look far ahead because there is no short ahead because the Ottawa Senators don't play for 11 days. But don't think that means the content stops. It doesn't. Claire Hanna will join us tomorrow on Locked On Senators. Thursday, an old friend makes his return. Dave Poulin, former Philadelphia Flyers captain, good friend of mine from TSN. Out of all the analysts, only guy to personally text me when I got engaged, when I got the new job. Just an all-around good
awesome.
dude.
I think
good dude.
And people kind of underestimate him. Like, look at his hockey career. I know a lot of people maybe didn't follow that, but this guy's an absolute legend, and I love his analysis, and it's always been great when we've had him on the show. So look forward to that one for sure.
Yeah, love that. Finalist for the Hobie Baker back when he was in college at Notre Dame. And then Friday, I text Meth. I said, Friday, what's up, Meth? He goes, I'm going to have a good time with you guys Friday. So there you have it. I'm also working on getting him on a postcast because you and Meth haven't gone back and forth, eh, Martian? You guys haven't.
That'll be good.
We need that banter.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be interested to see what kind of chem me and Meth can cook up. But I mean, we're pretty good together on Twitter, so I'm sure it'll be fun.
Yeah, well, we're all going to go for some pints, so maybe we do it right after we all actually get some in-person chemistry.
Oh yeah, I mean, we'll go to the Black Dog in Manitic and get him a couple cold ones, and we could loosen him up a little bit. I'm sure we'll get to know him a little bit. That'll be fun.
Nicholas gets it. Flyers fan, adopted Claude Giroux here. We love you. Appreciate you jumping on, Nicholas. Pooley, one of the greatest, former captain of the Philadelphia Flyers. So we're looking forward to
long-time captain as well, Ross.
And I'm thinking next week we try to circle back and get Boosh on. And I feel like we need Martian for that one again. That was fun when we had all 4 of us on.
Which Boosh? Papa Boosh or Junior Boosh?
Oh, Junior.
Either one.
Papa Bear might have to make a return. He's one of my favorite.
You know what? I think Papa Bear might be a good champion here. I mean, Tyler might be out for a little while. I feel like. I don't know if
he is out for a while.
Is the time to do it. Let him get. Maybe I don't know. We'll talk about it, but I think maybe just let him get going a little bit before you get him back on, so he's riding high instead of being injured.
I like that. I was gonna say that we need to have him on to keep his spirits high, just like Josh Norris wanted to travel with the team.
Dude, a little tire pump might be good for him too. You're right. That's not a bad call.
We're the more.
That's why you want me there.
No, it's all good. Okay,
I would be happy to be on that again, obviously.
All right, let's wrap it up with the goggle video. Tim Stützle has been given the goggles from Anton Forsberg. Great call. Nice. It's his night. And the fact that it's the 2 owners of the Montreal Canadiens to get the victory for the Sens tonight in dramatic fashion, just as the cherry on top going into this break. Sens have won 4 straight. And if nothing else, they are showing that there is no quit in this team and that they're going to battle through whatever adversity comes their way. I'm not here to talk about the refs like Habs fans love to do. I'm definitely not here to complain about injuries. I can understand why Habs fans would maybe make mention of a few key guys out of the lineup, but I'm not saying Ottawa's in the position they're in because of Zoo being out a lot of the year or Norris. Like, there's been some malfunctions, especially defensively, but the fact they've battled through this, and ever since that whiteboard meeting between DeBrincat, Giroux, and DJ Smith, the Ottawa Senators are 4-0. They're undefeated in the Ridley Gregg era and are now 12-1-1 when Alex DeBrincat scores a goal. Like, that in itself is a fantastic stat. Pilsy, how are you going to remember this stretch as we really have to carry it through the next 11 days? But how would you wrap it all up, bottle it up? If you're DJ Smith, how do you bottle it up and keep it for the week and then open it up in the dressing room right before that Saturday afternoon against Edmonton?
I think you make sure that the boys know that they've bought into, it seems like the last 4 games we've really gotten away from that dump and chase meat and potatoes type of game and really ramped up the offensive skill. Like, look at all the goals that the Sens scored up against the Habs, or at least most of them in this game. They're just good, clean wristers from their elite talent. Like, let that shine. Why do you have to play bump and crash, jump and chase hockey all the time? Sometimes you just need to let that elite top 6 shine. And what have we seen? Claude Giroux named top player of the week in the NHL. Brady Tkachuk lighting it up. Tim Stützle having a great stretch. Alex DeBrincat doing great. Like, Thomas Chabot has played so much better recently. So they've really kind of focused on, hey, maybe us trying to collapse towards the net, trying to play a checking game. Maybe that's not our strength. Our strength is we'll play a run and gun game like they did tonight. It'll come back to bite us sometimes. And sure, we might have to win some games 5-4 where we're trading chances and trading goals in the third period right till the end. But you got to bet on your talent. You got to bet on these guys. And I mean, I sure have with our friends at FanDuel. It's gotten me a couple shekels here and there. But I think that's the glowing message is, hey, we've really focused in on ramping up the offense for our top dogs. And we're on a 4-game win streak here. So that's what I would kind of harp on, Ross, going into it is we know our strengths and we're going to keep on relying on this style of hockey to get it done. Because especially when you have one of your top goalies in the tandem goalie system out for a couple weeks, you're going to have to trade chances and hope that Forsberg can stand up tall.
Yeah.
We appreciate you, brother. How many wins until you guys start wearing purple ties during the postcast? I was almost thinking we had to jersey up again because that was the win. Now, the thing is, we didn't do anything different for the first game. I feel like that's when you have to get into your superstitions. If anyone doesn't understand where he's getting at, DJ Smith has been wearing a purple tie every game because it was Hockey Fights Cancer. It was, no, it was for a mental health initiative. Do It for Darren was why they were all wearing purple for that Islanders game. DJ Smith goes, we win, we stay purple. We win.
DJ's going to have to keep on going out and buying new purple ties here and there to keep it fresh. But Pilsy, I just wanted to tack on to what you were saying there. You're exactly right there, man. Like, it's a possession game these days, and especially when you have a team that is more skilled offensively than the team you're up against, which is the case for the Sens versus the Habs. They need to hold the puck and make plays. You can't always – and I know, the classic line with Troy Mann when you guys had him on was the possession versus pursuit, right? There's a time and a place. And I think that needs to definitely be the mentality of the team going forward here is, when you have time and space and you can make a play, do that. Don't just dump it in because, our third and fourth line has guys like Austin Watson who just are incapable of making offensive plays. Maybe when you play against a team like the Leafs who outskill you when you look at it, I mean, that's up for debate, but they don't love the physicality and you can change your game plan and tailor things to the team you're up against. But tonight they executed what they needed to execute. I think they could have had a few more goals tonight for sure. Honestly, as could the Habs. They hit a couple posts. But also,
posts,
that's the way they need to play to be successful. I completely agree with you.
Our good friend Steve on Sens writes, are the Sens actually playing good hockey or did they just play 3 straight against the Leafs?
I mean, fair.
He's good.
Yes.
That's elite. That's elite right there. Yeah. Do it for Darren, guys. That's a great sentiment that I see going on in the chat. All right, we hit an hour. We appreciate everyone for jumping on the postcast. We'll have more with Claire Hanna tomorrow. Guys, you nailed it. Tim Stützle, 70% of the vote for the goggles tonight. Anton Forsberg clearly turned the postcast on his phone. But if he missed any of it, he would be sure to download the entirety of the postcast each and every time on the Locked On Senators postcast feed, which is the same as where you can find the podcast, anywhere you get yours and on YouTube. Thank you so much for 5,000 subscribers. We're on the road to 10,000 now. We don't look back. We look forward, which is what the Senators need to do going into this 11-day break. So now get ready for plenty of content of just being jealous that they're on vacation and you're not. But it's well-earned. It's 4 straight wins for the Ottawa Senators. Martian, any final thoughts from you before we say goodbye for this evening?
I might just take a quick page of the Pilsy's book here and just say, go Sens, go, baby.
Yes, Martian. Yes.
That's a feel-good one for me.
Ole, 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 ole.
Ole. Ole. Go, Sens.
Pilsy, you got any final thoughts?
I'm going to take a page out of Levitan's Martian's book, taking a page out of my book. Go, Sens, go. Let's go. 4-game win streak heading into the break. A 2-1 win over the Islanders, followed up with a 6-2 win up against the Leafs. Forsberg goes back-to-back games, a 5-0 shutout win, and he says, I'll run it back. Maybe not a shutout this time, but a 5-4 win in regulation. The captain gets it done at the end. That's a great way to be sent off. Thank you to everyone in the chat. This has been an absolutely thrilling postcast.
Woo! Final thoughts for me. I'm just going to steal Paul's thoughts. We go boots on the plane at 10K subs. Yes, we've been teasing a Road Warriors Sens Central meetup.
Yes.
We've been talking about Vancouver a bit. We've been thinking, we'll continue to think, but I think 10,000 subs might be the goal that we set to treat ourselves to a little Sens roadie.
Hell yeah.
All right, we'll leave it at that for tonight. The Sens win 5-4. If you missed any of the postcast or the podcast, go find it and wherever you get your podcast. Appreciate everyone, man. The chat's been super supportive tonight. We appreciate a couple Habs fans coming in, taking their licks. Bang, bang, boom. Uppercut, KO in regulation. Have a good night. Ole, ole, ole. For Brandon Pillar and at Levitan's Martian, I'm Ross Levitan, and this has been the Locked On Senators postcast presented by the Glebe Central Pub, and the Sens win in regulation. 4 points for Tim Stützle, 2 points for Brady Tkachuk. Anton Forsberg is solid when he needs to be in goal, and Xhekaj had the best view in the entire Bell Center of Brady Tkachuk scoring the game-winning goal. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Claire Hanna joins Locked On Senators. It's your team every day.